Okay, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and bom dia, boa tarde, and boa noite. Welcome to our segment of 20 hours changes in education. And today we are going to focus on Brazil. So I'm very pleased, first of all, to welcome Andrea and Diego, who will introduce themselves very soon. But first of all, I'm Natalia Tieso. It's an honor to be here with you. I am the director of Maple Bear Latin America, which is a school network based in Canadian bilingual education. And today I'm joined by Andrea Miranda. Hi, Andrea.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Bom dia a todos. Yeah, so we are from Brazil and we are live here and very honored to take part of this wonderful and huge conference. And we are here to share a little bit about our project. I'm the head of school at Maple Bear Alto de Pinheiros, which is located in São Paulo city. Yes, in a very central city of Brazil, yes. And we are here to share a wonderful project that we developed for a long time, and we've been doing that for a long time. And Mr. Diego is here. Mr. Diego Pires is a partner of mine, and he works with me for this amount of time working on developing this project, and we're going to share some things with you today. We are very excited to do that. Mr. Diego, can you introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. My name is Diego. I'm one of the partners of this project. Actually, we have been working on this project since 2016, and it's been so challenging for us. It's a big pleasure to stay here with you. That's it.
Perfect. So welcome, Andrea. Welcome, Diego. And of course, also welcome all educators from all over the world, and especially Maple Bear Alto de Pinheiros school community, who I hope they are hooked into our segment. So first of all, I would like to share with you some context in terms of Brazil. Of course, Brazil is the biggest country in Latin America. The native language is Portuguese, and they've got a huge population of 220 million people. And Brasilia is the capital city, not Sao Paulo, but Sao Paulo is the biggest and crowded city in the world. And today we're going to share some insights of this school project that is located in Pinheiros Heights, I would say, that is called Altos de Pinheiros. And what is really interesting for all of us to know is that in 2020, the government, the Ministry of Education, passed a law, especially in terms of additional language education, because 80% of the population attend public school, but 20% of the population go to private school. And based on the census that took place in 2018, it was discovered that 3% of those population that would attend private schools would go to bilingual school. So somehow, because of this result, the government passed a national law so that it is clear for all schools, owners, and also parents what bilingual education is. So they divided this private education additional world into 4 different groups. So one of them is schools that would offer extended teaching hours. So they are not bilingual, but they could teach English for certain period of time every day. That is one group of private schools. The second group is about bilingual education. And in order for a school to call bilingual, they need to meet 4 requirements. So first of all, it's about the assessment of students. Then it's about this special training for teachers. Then the teachers would also have to teach certain discipline, curriculum in English. And 4th, it's about the exact teaching hours that is required for a bilingual school to be called bilingual. Then there is a 3rd group of schools that would offer the Brazilian curriculum, but also they would follow an international curriculum. And the fourth group, it's about international schools. So international schools are called like that because they offer a dual diploma. And such is the case in Maple Bear when the students, apart from finalizing the Brazilian certificate or after graduation of secondary school, they have the possibility of getting this dual diploma, for example, with New Brunswick, which is a province of Canada. So having said all that, that was the idea of picturing the big picture of Brazil. I would invite you to go there. I live there. I moved from Argentina to Sao Paulo because of this job with Maple Bear. And now I would like to invite you to dig deep in this project that is about social impact, that is also about empathy, and most important than everything, is about inquiry-based and interdisciplinary learning. So that's why, first of all, I'm going to introduce you to Andrea Romeo, who is the founder of the school, who is the owner, and who's got more than 12 years experience. So I will share my screen now, and let's do the magic of this project. So give me 1 second so that I make sure that I'm sharing the screen. And here we go. Enjoy.
You don't have sound, Nati. You need to share sound.
Thank you for letting me know. Okay, so I'm going to. Okay, so I will stop sharing and I will share again so that you can now computer audio share, and let's see if the magic comes alive again. You let me know, right, Gabi? Now? Is it okay, Gabi?
Not yet.
No, not yet. No.
No? Okay. This is what happens, so we are fine.
Yeah, no worries. It's part of
what
we're
yeah.
learners.
Exactly, absolutely. So I'm sharing in the in the advanced. That is correct.
No. When you share, there's a little tab at the bottom that says
share sound. Let's see now. Let me know. This is the third time, so
third time's a charm.
Exactly. So this is the thing. Okay. Now?
Yes.
A Maple Bear Alto de Pinheiro já tem 12 anos de existência e essa trajetória nos trouxe muitas reflexões sobre educação, criatividade, inovação e a utilização da tecnologia, não só pela utilização, mas pela oportunidade de pensar, de fazer, de melhorar e principalmente entender melhor a aplicação do que se aprende. O programa Maple Bear já nos dá uma boa base pedagógica com muitas atividades mão na massa e incentivo à criatividade. Foi aí que percebemos ser esse um solo fértil para desenvolver projetos de criatividade, inovação e tecnologia. Poder desenvolver esse trabalho multidisciplinar, podendo criar, ressignificar os conceitos e vivenciar as transformações no mundo. Um outro exemplo de projeto que causou grande impacto foi o Rethinking the Community Vegetable Garden, projeto que foi selecionado entre mais de 65 trabalhos no mundo todo para ser apresentado no FabLearn de 2019. Esse reconhecimento impulsionou ainda mais o desejo de continuar proporcionando esse espaço de criatividade em nossa escola.
Okay, so before listening to Andrea Miranda, now I want us to understand that when Andrea Romeo tells or talks about her vision, she's really based on this project-based approach. And now Andrea Miranda is going to explain to us how, in her vision, she can connect projects with English language and arts, math and science with technology in a context that is significant and authentic for her students. So let's listen to her now.
Olá, eu sou Andréa Miranda, Head of School da Mipobera Alto de Pinheiros. Iniciamos em 2015 o programa Explora por meio da parceria com educadores da área de tecnologia, quando desenvolvemos o eixo de Coding em integração com as áreas de Science, Language, Math, Arts, STEM Plus A partir do Year One do Elementary. Nosso programa tomou corpo e dimensões para além do planejado, tornando-se um programa autoral. Desde o início do projeto, percebemos que o desenvolvimento das crianças deu um salto enorme. Além de todo o entusiasmo de nossos Explorers, os estudantes e os educadores. Percebemos também que houve uma contribuição para o aprendizado das áreas regulares, no já tão robusto programa da Mapleberry. Seguindo os princípios do Lifelong Kindergarten do MIT, nos encontros do Explora, The Creative Learning Project, nossos alunos utilizam os mais variados materiais, de reciclados a arduinos. Compartilham ideias e buscam entender o ponto de vista do outro. O aprendizado se dá de forma diferente, por meio das interações, criatividade, análise, releitura, enfim. Todos têm a oportunidade de vivenciar na prática os conhecimentos já adquiridos e descobrir novos conceitos. O ambiente de aprendizagem é propício ao sucesso de todos, unindo teoria, experiência e prática. Os alunos constroem seus projetos movidos pelo interesse, inspiração, debate, paixão. Já imaginou seu filho vivendo essa experiência transformadora?
So now we've listened to two voices of the leadership team, and we are going to get deeper into the thinking and the planning of this special project that started in 2016 when students were in first grade or year first, so when they were 6 or 7 years old. So let's get started with the roots of this project.
Pois é isso o que o Mr. Diego tem para compartilhar conosco. Mr. Diego, conta um pouquinho para todo mundo sobre o projeto de acessibilidade desenvolvido pelo Explora Team.
O Explora é um projeto que parte de uma premissa importante, que é o nosso estudante precisa viver a vida que se vive. Então a gente tem por base a teoria da atividade social. Então os nossos alunos vão ser sempre colocados em situação de resolução real de problemas. E o nosso projeto de acessibilidade trouxe para a gente uma oportunidade muito importante, que é de desenvolver a empatia dos nossos alunos com um novo aluno cadeirante que viria no ano seguinte. Na elaboração desse processo, que a gente chama de Explora, um ponto-chave, um ponto de partida é qual é a pergunta que a gente vai levar para os nossos estudantes. E a pergunta que nós levamos na situação foi: nós temos condições de receber um aluno cadeirante na nossa escola? E a partir de então, os nossos alunos foram levantando, foram nos devolvendo perguntas e necessidades de pesquisa que surgiram a partir daí. Uma coisa muito importante que eu identifico nos nossos estudantes, nos nossos Explorers, é esse olhar que se constituiu ao decorrer do processo. Então, o ambiente educacional, muitas vezes, faz com que as crianças olhem apenas para o cotidiano de dentro da escola. A partir desse projeto, eles trouxeram preocupações dos ambientes que eles visitavam nos períodos livres, com os pais, com as famílias, como, por exemplo, o shopping tem uma acessibilidade adequada, a praça que eles frequentam com as famílias tem acessibilidade, as calçadas que eles andam nas ruas. Acho que é fundamental a gente ter noção, enquanto educadores, do impacto social que as nossas escolhas enquanto educador têm na vida dos nossos estudantes. É muito gostoso compartilhar com vocês tudo isso, mas acho que nada mais interessante do que vocês ouvirem o que os nossos Explorers têm a dizer.
So far, now Diego has explained that this project started when there was a need to welcome a new student, and how, by means of empathy, students could understand that we all have different needs. And now we are going to hear their students talking about the project and how they developed it. So special thanks and shout outs to Elena, who's going to speak now, to Katarina, Bruna, Leonardo, Marina, and all students who were involved in letting us know, understand more about the project. So the protagonist's voice now.
Hi, I'm Katarina.
Hi, I'm Elena.
And today we're here to share about a project we did in Explora, which is an extra class we have here in school after lunch.
Okay, so nowadays we are in the international program that is different from Explora, but in the 5th grade down, we were in Explora.
So we did all the process of we will receive a new student in the school which used a wheelchair. So since we were in Explora, we got the job to measure things and know how accessible would it be for him to move through the school. So we measure like the floor and the ramps and the distance between the walls, the height, everything, so we could see if it was accessible for him to use it.
Okay, so we did all that Katarina said, and then we started to make this project. We measured everything, and then we started to make a maquette with some little robots that they are called Ozobots, so that they can follow little lines that we can do on the paper and things like that. So we did this maquette of the school with all those things that we were going to change. So like the ramps, the door, even the table, because this table that we use usually doesn't fit the wheelchair, so we needed to have another table. And then we used the Ozobot to represent our friends that were going to come. And then he was just walking through school like he was the guy.
Before we did the maquette and all those things, we just did the maquette because we saw everything in the school was accessible for our new student that used the wheelchair. But if we didn't have all those things accessible, our main goal was to get all those arguments and measurements and give to the coordination so they could evaluate and see if we oh yeah, true, we need to change. We need to make this accessible to our students. And the only thing we actually gave to the coordination and they evaluated and then they changed was the table, because we didn't have a table for a student in a wheelchair. And nowadays we have it still with us.
Hi, I'm Bruna.
And hi, I'm Leonardo.
And we're here to mention a project we did when we were 5 to 6 years old that was the following. We discovered that there was a new student that was getting to the school, but he had walking disabilities. And we realized and thought, how is he going to move around the school and do things if we're ready or prepared to do it? So we decided to develop a project with our actual math and science teacher, where we measured every single thing that he could have trouble with, for the chair. We measured desks, doors, ramps, the disabilities bathroom to see if he could use it. So we decided to make a maquette to picture how it was.
And we asked the owner of the school to get us a floor plan so we could build the maquette above it. And we used the Ozobot so we could picture the student, like Bruna said. And the Ozobot is a tiny machine. It's like this size,
little semicircle format.
And
it had a sensor under it that could follow the lines that we drew by color. It
gave it command like color. It would detect the color and like say to the other bird what he should do now.
And when we use this line, we used it to make it as a route, so we could picture him in things that he could do or things that he could not do, such as going down the stairs. He couldn't. Going down a ramp, yes, he could.
And depending on the thickness of the ramp, because the wheelchair might be bigger than the thickness of the ramp.
True. And one day during this project, we saw something really cool that was a walking disability man that in a skate ramp that he made the maneuvers just like a person with no disability, and then we thought people with disabilities can be unable to do things, but they're also able to do other things.
We felt great actually, and we started noticing about every place that had that was different for disabled people.
Hi, my name is Marina, and I will explain a little bit about the circuit here that is called pisca-pisca. Here we have the circuit, and the circuit is a flow of energy. The energy keeps flowing. There are not two energies coming here and collapsing here. It's a flow of energy. The energy flows. But we have a problem on the circuit, because the circuit it needs to make the LED here to be bright. But with the Arduino, that's this here, it gives 5 volts for the LED, but the LED can just have 3 volts. So we need to put this is the resistor. This is a resistor, and the resistor transforms this 5 volts that the Arduino is giving in 3 volts. But why we don't need 2 resistors, one for the positive leg and the other for the negative leg of the LED? Because this is a flow of energy, so the energy just needs to pass one time for here, because this will flow. There's not 2 different energies coming here, so that's why we just need one.
Hoje, o Explora tem um enorme engajamento dos nossos alunos e o reconhecimento das famílias.
Isso só nos motivou para mergulharmos de cabeça nesse projeto e ampliá-lo em tempo e conteúdos, resultando em um programa diário de 1h30 com os eixos de Coding, Design, Research and Social Action.
Okay, so I'll stop sharing now so that we can debrief. First of all, shout out to the 5 students and to all of them, because I know this has been like collaborative, even thinking that it started 6 or 7 years ago. It's clear for me how interdisciplinary approach can help students to really give significance to our curriculum, but especially because it was about the new student and how the school would welcome this new student. And as Leonardo said, we all have abilities, and it's about showing empathy and understanding somebody else and being in somebody else's shoes. So any remarks that you would like to share with you, how the teachers felt and the school community? So Andrea, any remarks? And then we talk to Diego as well, but anything that you would like to talk, especially about collaboration among teachers, students, and parents?
So it was amazing. it was wonderful because we had this opportunity. We were already developing the program. So we got the opportunity of having the kid coming, and it was a special kid. And we got him inside the school to visit the school, and our students saw him and met him and started talking to him, and they got puzzled. Yes, so the approach of the project is to address real life situation issues. Yes, as Mr. Diego said, we work on the social activity design. So that means that we get something that is real, and we get the students, they are participants, and they are the ones along, of course, with the adults. Yes, they are because we mediate them, we mediate all the activity, yes, throughout the process, but the adults are there as explorers in chief. That's their name, okay? That's their title, because the real explorers, the guys that are there with the hands-on activities and developing and brainstorming ideas and getting everything organized are the students. Yes, because they are not students anymore. They are explorers. Okay, they are part of a team, and they need to solve problems. They need to go after everything so they can get from what we said, Arduinos to recycled materials, and they can develop interviews. So in order to solve the problem, they have to learn a lot of different genres, language genres. Yeah, so they have to develop interviews, reports, and they have to design projects, you know, to get the floor plan. So they needed to read the floor plan. So they needed to go after the owner of the school and look for that. So all of those things are beyond curriculum. Yes, they intertwined all those concepts and all the content. It's a different approach, because then you get all the things that you learn in the curriculum, in the program, in the Maple Bear program, and you put it into a different perspective. And it's so overwhelming and empowering for the students. They felt really empowered because they were there. They were the ones to research. They were the ones to measure. They were the ones deciding with Mr. Diego and Ms. Carol, what would they do in order to find out if we could get them. Yes, we are an inclusive school. Of course we are. Yes, and we were at a time. But the thing is, we wanted them to find out. We didn't want to tell them. We didn't want just to give them the information. Yes, we are, because yes, we are doing a good job. No, we wanted them to feel, okay, we know now what is an inclusive school. What do we need to have in the structure in order to be an inclusive school? Yes, so that was amazing, because the parents were involved, and up to now we have everybody together. They are still here in the school, and we are still getting the impact from all this project, because we still develop a lot of empathy here in the school. But now I'm going to switch. Yes.
No, and I think that it's really interesting, because the idea of Gabriel's event is to think about changing education. And I think this is what happens when we change and we move from being the teacher, like the master of the universe in the classroom, and we invite our students not only to be explorers, but also the protagonists. And I think that is the real change in terms of the paradigm. It's not just about in black and white, in letters, in the planning we write, but we give the students the possibility of living education as protagonists. Diego, what do you think?
I think, as I said, it's so challenging for us, because me as a teacher, I should rethink the role of planning. We deal with a lot of unexpected situations with our students. they raise up some questions, and we say, come on, how I didn't think about it before. They are completely able to put the ideas on the table and say, come on, we need to rethink. I'm sorry, we need to rethink our strategies. It's amazing.
It's a big change. It's like a big shift, especially I think because we as adults allow ourselves to doubt, not to know, and to be able to change. So what can you tell me about that in terms of your colleagues, in terms of other teachers? Because sometimes we are resistant to change because we learned from different way, and we feel like, oh, we know in theory that it works okay because it's about the educational trend, but now putting into practice is another thing. So Diego, what about your colleagues, other teachers? How was the reaction when this change of paradigm started to happen?
Okay, I will say only a word: panic.
Of course, I can totally understand. So give me more about that. Yes.
Yeah. First of all, I can say panic because during our graduation process as teachers, we learned that we need to plan everything, that we need to be completely prepared for everything. In this situation, as you said, Natalia, our students, they are the protagonists. Not me as the teacher and my colleagues also. So we need to think after the class, not before the class.
Absolutely, that is a great tip. That's fantastic, because really what we usually talk about, like a think tank, is we shouldn't be thinking about the activities students will be doing or the resources, but rather on the question we are going to ask, so that the students feel motivated to do the things. But Andrea, you wanted to talk about also the reaction of your colleagues at school. Tell us more.
It was amazing at the very beginning when we proposed the project to the teachers, yes, to the educators. We were telling them that they would have to shift their minds, because that's the thing. We are used to planning in advance. We are used to organizing all the materials. We are used to be prepared for the class. And we are used to studying every content that we need to share with the students, in fact, to teach. Yes, because it's interesting, because in Portuguese, the word teacher is called professor, which is the professor, which is the person that professes the truth. Yes. But we call ourselves explorers in chief, which means that we are on board with the whole team in order to develop the path. Yes, so we're not sure. And then it was very interesting, because at the very beginning, we had meetings and meetings and meetings, and people kept me telling, Ms. Miranda, but I need to hand in a plan. You need to see my plan, because, and then I said, I don't want a plan. I want you to start, I want you to come up with wonderful trigger activities, yes, for students to get triggered, for students to get involved, yes, but then you need to reflect upon your actions, after your actions, yes, and that was the mind shift. Because also I had to convince well-trained teachers that they needed to wait for the kids to come up with their own questions, and also to help kids to go after the answer instead of coming back and handing in the answers. So the idea was to help students to research, help students to design, help students to code, and help students to make an impact on society. but helping doesn't mean doing for them. It means bringing the tools, teaching the tools.
So teachers are like mediators, I would say. And what is really important is, as teachers or educators, to have clear our end goal, because that is a direction. And also, I think it's very important when we think about our students, who they are all special, because they are all unique. Everybody has a special talent. So sometimes in terms of differentiation, we may have students who do different activities, but at the end, they will come to the goal in terms of development, not only of the cognitive or curriculum knowledge, but also the social and emotional learning. And I'm talking about social and emotional learning, especially in terms of empathy, right? Understanding that everybody has different needs. And also I was thinking when I was listening to both of you, Diego and Andrea, that we as teachers, coaches, mentors, facilitators, also give a good example in terms of lifelong learning. So when we are always learning, and then I think that is very important, because our students in the future, we don't know which job they are going to have, because maybe that job doesn't even exist now. But what we know is I would say, hunger for learning, for different skills. And that is a good example when we think of, we don't know, as teachers, I will check on that and we'll get back to you. But what about parents? How did parents react? Because we talked about teachers and this change, and now I would say parents is another chapter. So looking forward to hearing to your parents chapter. Andrea, what do you think?
So yes, we had parents, we are used to sending parents a teaser. Yes, with all the content, the list of contents and pictures of the types of activities that we are going to share with the students and develop with the students in a regular curriculum. And then parents, our parents that are used to that were used to that, they would ask us, okay, so what's the content? What is the curriculum of the Explorer? So then we also needed to make this impact. And this is important because it's not just the project, which was a huge impact on the whole community, but also the program, the Explorer program per se, was a mind shift for parents. And also when we share with newcomers, new parents coming to school, they get astonished. Why? Because yes, at Maple Bear, we also work as Canadian education. Yes, we work with centers, which is something different because it's not like a whole class, a lecture as we used to have in traditional schools. At Maple Bear, we work on centers. So every single small group works in a different part of the project. And sometimes you also develop something similar. You do also the activity that another group is doing. And then with something, it's very interesting because sometimes they have to compete within the team because they need to see, okay, which idea is going to help more to develop the project. It's not like a competition in a bad way, like I want to win you, but it's something like collaborative.
Negotiation and collaborative. I am totally agree.
And then they need to use their arguments, they need to use their supporting details in order to convince the explorer in chief to be like, wow, so this is the idea that we're gonna pursue. And that's something important also. Sometimes, or there are many times, that the kids, they get into frustration because the project doesn't go to the end, or they didn't come up with an idea that truly reaches the objective. So this is different because it's not us controlling, it's us, again, mediating content, mediating procedures, mediating attitudes, And that's why the social emotional idea is very important, because our explorers in chief, they open up real life situations for the students. So they might fail at the very end, but they are not failing in the school. They are failing with the project. So the project, okay, they designed a product that didn't quite work, which is okay. And then they can go back and do it again. And that's when parents, they could understand, yes, that this is a different kind of program. It's a more realistic one. So sometimes once in a while, students get really upset, like, you know, what I planned, I put a lot of effort in that, but my product wasn't chosen. Mr. Diego, would you like to share something else?
I think I'm going to say something and then pass it to Diego, but I think that what we are referring to is about life skills, and that the school becomes a safe and secure environment for students to try, because this is what happens in life. Maybe we go to a job interview and we don't get the job. We don't get the salary rise that we want. So I think that it's very important to understand that error and mistakes are part of learning, and you learn more out of those experiences. Diego, what do you think about that?
Oh my. All this conversation is reminding me in a specific situation, as Ms. Miranda said about the frustration. One of our projects, our students, they needed to develop a mascot for
a pet or a mascot?
A mascot. A mascot of the school.
Yes, yes.
We do translanguaging all the time here, because this is global international education, and this is what happens. So I really like this translanguaging. You know, mascot, oh yes, yes, yes. We got it, Diego, so thank you. Good, go ahead.
Perfect. So, and one of the groups, they needed to replan their strategies in specific moment. I got that they were deciding everything with no intervene. They were decided by themselves, and they were being so polite with each other, saying, "Excuse me, let me disagree with you, but I think that we should do in this way, not in this way." They were learning how to live in a society.
And I would say that what you're saying, living in a society in a respectful way, is like, whoa, whoa, whoa. In all Latin America and I'd say in the world, we really need spaces, because sometimes our leaders, thinking about national leaders, are not such good examples. So it's fantastic if we, as a school, can provide those contexts that are authentic and where students can learn and develop their own life skills in our environment. That's like huge from my perspective. And I think that that is what helps in terms of changing education. Now, like final remarks, what would you like to reflect upon this project? Because we have like some time limitations. So my first question would be, what are you working on in terms of this now, maybe this year? It's almost finishing, I know, but what are you working on? And then any final reflection that you would like to share with all of us. Andrea, would you like to take it from there?
Yeah, I think it's very important.
Okay, sorry.
I think it's very important for us to understand that this kind of project, the Explorer program focuses a lot on future plans, on future ideas, yes, innovation in education. And when we talk about innovation in education, we are not talking about robotics only. We are talking about coding. We are talking about kids or people being able to work on different systems to come up with different ideas. Yes, so nowadays we are working a lot on hackathons with the kids, mini hackathons that they are very into, trying to find out in very limited time, yes, period of time. We don't tell them this is a hackathon, okay? We don't say like, oh, now we are in a hackathon. We are developing this challenge, and then they get into new ideas, and then they brainstorm. It doesn't matter if they are crazy or not. They are in a safe place for them to move on. Yes, and the school is investing a lot on gadgets and materials and tools in order to get them to experience that. So yes, we do work with things that in the past, we would say that it would be dangerous for very young kids. Like you saw the kid with the arm, with a very hot thing, like hot glue. And we do have kids. We did have kids in year 2, and they were they were working with drills and all this. We have a huge amount of tools for the kids, and things like parents, they put it in a lock. Yes, and here in the school, we share with the students. But that's important. We teach them how to work with those things. We teach them how to work with the computer in order to be in a safe internet, So we are giving them tools, and that's what we believe. We believe that we need to give them things. We need to think about the future. We need to think about the trends, all the innovation, because yes, they might not have the same job as we do. And the community and the society might be changed in 2 to 3 years. 3 years ago, we had a completely different situation. And we needed a pandemic to get into a new situation like this. We are in an international conference. We didn't have to get on the flight and go all around, and we are connecting people from all around the world. There might be, I don't know how many people viewing this, watching what we are talking about, and we are sharing with a huge amount of people. This is going to be live. This is live, but it's also going to be recorded. So it's going to be for the future too. And that's my remark. And I believe that what we are doing, it is innovation. I understand that. But I think everybody should pursue that. And it takes a lot of courage, because yes, we have to shift the minds of our community. When I talk about community, I talk about the board of the school, the teachers, and the parents, the students. At the very beginning, the students were like, is this a class? Are you teaching? Can we really get our ideas out, like completely, like he said? And I always say that we are changing our community. We are making an impact, and we are also impacted by the community. And that's what I say. It's future coming, and we are prepared for the future, and we are preparing our kids for that.
Wow, that sounds so inspiring. Diego, what about your thoughts and remarks as well?
Oh, I need to say that they are developing new gadgets, new stuffs, but we don't leave the scientific knowledge behind. You could saw on the video, one of our students, she came up with the correct. She developed the scientific model, the physical model for electric current. So we are teachers. What? She's in year 5.
And now she's in year 5, so she's like 10 years old. Imagine that. And she was so, that was Mariana or Marina, and she was like so specific. So I know what you mean, Diego. Absolutely, wow.
I think that we need to give them this possibility to take risks and develop the scientific knowledge at the same time.
And I think that that is so important, connected with having schools as laboratory of ideas, when they are coached by educators, when we can motivate students, but also when they can feel that the sky is the limit, that they can manipulate things, of course, with the responsibility, because we are the adults. But I think that we really need to understand that the students need to feel empowered so that they can learn new skills every day and they will feel motivated. And that's why I think that the inquiry-based approach is always useful for us as educators. So it's about asking questions so that students can give us multiple answers.
Perfect. Our board, our group of students, we have meetings all the weeks to think about the project. So one of the provocative questions that Andrea Miranda she usually make for us is, which kind of questions are you making to your students? That's the point. For example, I didn't give the scientific model for my student to Marina. For example, I made some questions and she developed the correct model.
So absolutely. So final remarks would be like students as protagonists, and also students as agents of change in terms of community and having high impact in their activities. So I think that this has proved to be very inspiring, and also somehow, especially for Gabriel, special thanks to him. Obrigada to Andrea Miranda, Andrea Romeo, and Diego Piris. And it's been a pleasure. And I just want to say, feel free to connect with Andrea Miranda from Maple Bear Altos de Piñeiros. I think they've got great best practices, and also they are eager to learn and to connect to other schools. You can also contact me. I'm always interested in visiting schools and getting to know more of that. And as I said before, thank you, Gabriel. I think that you've got 5 minutes until we teletransport to Argentina, right?
Yes, that's right. Thanks, Diego. Thanks, Andrea. Thanks, Natalia. It was a pleasure to listen to all that you're doing, and especially how you conveyed your passion, your enthusiasm, how it is so clear that you love doing what you're doing. So we wish you the best. And I'll be in touch with Nati to get the pointers and links to your projects so that we can feature them prominently on our page for educators from the different regions to explore what you're doing and share in the excitement of changing education. So thanks very much.
Thank you, explorers. Thanks all the school community. I think it's my pleasure.
Thank you.
Congrats.
All the best.
Obrigado, parabéns. Tchau, tchau.
Muito obrigado.
Obrigada. Tchau, tchau.
Thank you. Bye.